Okay, so kind of moving towards the next pick, Caden also asked, can you talk about the Pistons' future with Jalen Duren and Ivy joining Cade Cunningham?
I could start us. Great question, Caden. Okay, if I had to choose two winners of draft night, first of all, I got the Rockets, which I'll talk about later. But my second winner of draft night is Detroit. They picked best player available. They got Jaden Ivey, a guy that you can tell he's going to be something special. You can look at his highlights and just see the explosiveness. He can play off the ball. He can have the ball. He can really do everything, and just has all of the intangibles that it takes to be a star in the NBA. And I just feel like this guy's going to be an incredible player. And then they went out and got a big. And I really like what Detroit's building there. Now that they have that big, I don't think that they go out and get DeAndre Ayton, which has been rumored for a month now. I think that they're set on bigs. I think that they got Jaden Ivey now, obviously. And all they really need is a 3 or 4 to play alongside Sadiq.
Yeah, no, I think Detroit basketball might be back. They're super exciting. I mean, Cade Cunningham is a phenomenal basketball player. Now you just paired him with an athletic guard who can kind of do a little bit of everything on the court. Jalen Duren is a monster of a man. I feel like he's going to be a guy who is going to hold down that paint. Phenomenal rim protector. Sadiq Bey, like you mentioned, 3-point threat, also strong defensively. And on top of it, Dwayne Casey's your coach, who is a solid coach. He was coach of the year with Toronto. He's defensively minded. They're going to be really, really fun to watch kind of here in the next kind of couple seasons.
My biggest thing is, what does Detroit basketball being back actually look like? They finished with 23 wins last year. Cade Cunningham is obviously a great player, but I'll play devil's advocate. It's really exciting. They drafted very well, but you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, and I still see this team as 9th or 10th, not because they lack a lot of talent. They're young right now. And as a very young team, Jalen Duren, he did not prove enough at the college level, especially in his tournament game against Chet, who you guys both love, obviously, to prove that this Detroit team is going to jump from the second worst team in the East to now, if they're back, when I hear that, I think, oh, this team is a playoff contender. Not just a contender, but they are entrenched in a playoff run. I don't see that yet in Detroit. I see that maybe being a year or two away and then some.
Yeah, I mean, they're a rebuilding team. They just had the first pick last year, and they grabbed Cade Cunningham. They hit on that draft pick. They grabbed Jaden Ivey. I think they hit on this draft pick. They're doing everything necessary as a rebuilding team to get back. The pairing of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey is scary. That as your backcourt is so special. They have Sadiq Bey that could play the 3 and the 4 and dominate. And then they have a 3-headed monster, not really a 3-headed monster at the big, but think about, they have 3 bigs that are really good. They have Beef Stew. They have Kelly Olynyk, who could stretch the 4. And then now they have Jalen Duren. I think that they're really good. I'm not saying that they're going to be great, but if they're 9 and 10 in the second year or third year of a rebuild, and the offseason's not done, they can go out and get Miles.
Kelly Olynyk's not scary. No one is like, wow, we've got to go against Isaiah Stewart and Kelly Olynyk. God help us. Like that's not the thought anyone's having.
Say what you will about Kelly Olynyk. He's a good big and
serviceable big.
And the offseason is not done for them. They're rumored in a lot of different moves. I love what Detroit's doing. Do I think that they're going to be contenders next year? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for a team that was, the second worst in the East last year, they made a pick that sets them up to continue to get better, and they're on the right track. I think Detroit basketball is on its way to being back. I love what they did. Jaden Ivey, welcome to Detroit.
What about Sacramento basketball?
Talk about that later.
Well, I kind of want to touch on that because I actually kind of agree with Scott. I don't know if Detroit basketball is back, but I do feel like now they have talent in the building, which they haven't had. They have a lot of talent in the building. Now it's just finding an identity. And I think with guys like Isaiah Stewart, Cade, you're going to kind of get back to like hard-nosed, Detroit basketball when it was like Ben Wallace and all them. So I think it's back in some ways, but I don't know if like next year
Totally agree.
if they take the jump next year. But the talent's there now.
It's the start of being back. Maybe that's the better phrase, because they actually have excitement now around the organization to where like they have solid pieces moving forward.
I totally agree. And that's kind of what I was getting at is you want to be careful because on paper it's like this looks awesome, but it's all about actually what does it look like pieced together.
And last thing I would like to add on Detroit, and something that I think Christian and Trevor are overlooking is they also have a guy there named Marvin Bagley.
Gosh, dude.
Don't mention his name on the show.
All right.
Can we bleep that out?
Wait. We hate Bagley.
Some of us hate
we hate Bagley. However,
More disappointed.
However, there's, in my opinion, there's no denying that Cade is so good that he's made serviceable.
Fair.
Serviceable. Yeah, sure.
But Scott just said Kelly Olynyk is serviceable. So are we just saying like, are we just throwing that word around
he's
now?
made a starting caliber player. And so like when I think of Cade, when I think of Cade, Ivey, Bay, Bagley, Duren, that's the start of something actually pretty solid.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I think Bagley definitely fits more in Detroit with what they have than whatever was going on in Sacramento. You know, he's surrounded by, you know, what's hoped to be good defensive players in Saddiq Bey and Jalen Duren. So maybe he thrives a little bit more because we're not depending on him to play defense.
Yeah, I'll just finish this segment about the Detroit Pistons with this. Fans, I know the fans are on cloud nine right now. I'm excited for them, honestly.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, Detroit fans, because you guys sell us on your team, please, because I believe these guys don't believe yet.
Christian
Sell
believes.
I believe. Yeah, don't
attack
me. Attack Scott.
Sell us.
It's not that I don't believe. I don't know if they make the jump this year, but they're on their way.
That's been the whole argument too. It's not that they don't have talent. It's just when you say all these things, it's phrased in a way of like, yeah, this team is like, watch out the rest of the East. They're not there yet.
I mean, you could
prove it.
Yes.
They do have to prove it, and you never know because like you could talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, how like the Cavs, they were supposed to be terrible this year and they made a huge jump. Obviously they added some different veterans, but I mean, you don't know what's going to go down in Detroit. The East is always so wild because it's just so wide of a range, whereas the West seems like it's more like kind of locked in place of like who's good and who's not.
Now, if the Pistons had a veteran, say like Harrison Barnes, and maybe got Saddiq Bey out of there, I'd maybe be saying they're back.
Fair.
Hey, thanks for watching. Before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're the only NBA show focused on covering your favorite small market teams. Find us on all social media platforms at Small Ball Podcast.